freaking. All right, sports.
Here's an idea for a better modular backpack system. I did find a couple modular backpack systems out there. And the military, of course, uses Molly, if you've ever seen that.
I've heard a lot about it. Yeah.
Which is those like looped systems that
Sure.
you can clip things through. But I think just a general backpack system that's modular for things like water bottles, devices, laptops,
Right.
tablets, phones, etc. Travel, hiking,
Yeah.
any kind of sport
Yeah.
where you don't necessarily want the exact same pouches from one thing to the next, right? Like if I'm going fishing one day versus going hiking versus going to Disney World.
Or bike riding or whatever.
Bike riding,
Yeah.
you're going to need different pouches to put stuff in. You almost always need a water supply of some
Sure,
kind, but
yeah.
maybe you want a Camelback one day and you just want a water
Yeah,
bottle the
yeah.
next day. Or maybe you need cold pack storage, like for a cool, cold lunch or something
Surprised
like
I
that.
haven't looked into this because I'm constantly suffering from that kind of thing.
I do too. I have about 10 backpacks because
because you
I'm
kind of use a
picky.
different one for each.
And then okay, well, what am I going to need that day? And
Yeah.
it really depends on the
Yeah.
weather.
What are
And
you
it depends
packing?
on where you're going.
How
and-
hot's it going to be?
Right.
You have to pack rain gear.
Right, exactly.
Camping, you're carrying all kinds of junk with you.
There are a couple different ones I saw out there. They all seemed kind of bulky. To me, the
Yeah.
ideal one starts very slim.
Osprey. I have an Osprey.
Yeah,
I love it.
like those small Osprey
Yeah,
packs.
yeah.
It starts small, and then you can kind of add on to it. Either I would think by a combination of Velcro and some type of clipping carabiner type of clipping system, so that the Velcro's holding the bulk of the weight, so that it keeps it all tight. And then the clips are there as backup, kind of.
Velcro makes me nervous. And in fact, the fact that you bring up Velcro just makes me think, I really wish there was an alternative to Velcro.
Why?
Velcro, it wears out.
Yeah, but if you I have some old military gear that's serious hook and loop, Velcro.
But I mean, if you're open and closing,
and
doesn't
lasts,
it wear out?
No, it lasts pretty well. The heavy duty.
Maybe it's the one
quality
I've
stuff.
got
I think
that's
it's just quality.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
like
yeah,
anything,
yeah.
you can buy better or.
Yeah, I like
or
that
worse.
idea a lot because between bike packing and then hiking, and then you're going to
Right.
you travel somewhere. You want
And to me,
be
this
on a
doesn't
plane.
seem like a heavy lift from a business perspective. I think,
Not to mention that it's it's a moneymaker because now
yeah.
you've got your course system.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes packaged with 3.
Yep,
And
yep.
anything else that you want.
This seems like a great
Yeah.
opportunity for a Kickstarter to me.
Yeah. An app that helps you to follow a route based on audio cues that works in the woods or on trails. And the reason why I think they're saying that it works with audio cues is because when you're running, especially through wooded areas or in remote areas, and you're running, you can't really be looking at something because you're pounding the pavement.
So the
right?
audio cues would be by the user?
The audio cues, presumably would just be some AI voice, and it would be waypoints.
Like turn left.
Turn left here.
Oh, I see.
GPS powered. You're
Like
coming up
Waze
to the end. Exactly. Ways for running in rural areas, woods, whatever, mountainous regions, trails. I could see it being used for mountain bikers, bike packers, any number of things where I'm not sure about aerial sports. Or even for that matter, maybe sailing, but I think they have their own stuff, right?
No, there's a lot of sailing.
There's a lot of stuff out there for sailing.
Yeah.
Scuba, I have no idea, but I could see that being kind of a thing. You've got this, you've got your little earbud in. Otherwise, the rest of it is just enjoying nature, but you don't have to be
really
stopping
cool.
and whipping out your phone every 2 seconds. Am I on the right trail? Do I have to take a turn here?
Yes. And the thing that I think would be kind of cool that could be added to that would be like a community-driven audio cues for certain things. Like, hey, right over here to your right is a cool cliff you should look at. Or, you know what I mean? Or there's always this one monkey that hangs out in the tree over here.
Yeah. Or here's where I wiped out on my bike 2 years ago.
Exactly.
I broke my
if you
collarbone.
look at this rock, you can see a blood stain. I'm not a hunter. I know plenty of people that are hunters.
I like shooting. I don't like shooting things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I used to play paintball, and I like shooting people, right? I mean, without doing any permanent damage. This idea is a augmented reality based hunting application for either an augmented reality headset or glasses like the Apple Vision Pro, or actually on like a gun of some kind, like in an optic, where you could go out in the woods and there's nothing there. There's not actually real animals there, but you could hunt these fake animals that are virtual, augmented reality maybe, if you're wearing like an Apple Vision Pro headset. So you're walking through the woods and a little deer comes walking along and you have this gun that is connected to the system, right?
You can see where you're going, but it can also superimpose things.
Yes, exactly. It's augmented reality. If you weren't wearing a headset, it could just be something on the gun, right? So you've got the optic on the gun, the scope of whatever kind. Maybe it's bigger. It's got an LCD screen in it.
Yeah.
And as you're... And I could see this being applied at multiple levels.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, even just like as a toy for kids.
Yeah,
like
no,
shooting
totally.
zombies and, like...
Yeah. No, that's I didn't really understand, I guess, the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, but the fact that you can just be out there, have, is it like a heads up almost display idea where you're still seeing behind it, but it's, okay.
It's similar to playing Pokemon Go on your phone. Right?
Okay.
So yeah, I could see it being but I think the whole shooting thing I kind of like as an old paintball player, etc.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting that you bring that up because my very next one this is by Patches Brownie. I want Google Glass to come up with a running app that shows you your ghost from a previous run.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Now, I remember, I think it was Forza or Gran Turismo, one of those racing games back in the day. You could race yourself and get better and better and better.
Some of those now, I believe, and I don't really play any racing games anymore, but actually, because of the multiplayer online thing, I was watching one, and you can chase other people's ghosts in the game. There was another game I was playing. I can't think what it was called, but where you have to like do maze running kind of as the character, and you see the ghosts from other people, like the best players.
I think that'd be so cool.
And so you're trying to keep up with them. But yeah, in the real world, I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, he had a ton of ideas. I mean, one of them was. Maybe you can set your avatar to run at a certain pace along a given route, like a virtual pacer, but one that looks like an actual person running. So you subconsciously aim to outrun it. Or maybe they can make it look like a bunch of zombies are chasing you.
Yeah, it's kind of it's not
fun.
Dissimilar to what I was talking about.
Any number of like entertainment-based versions.
I think we're going to see a lot of that over the next few years as AR and VR get better.
I mean, all kinds of applications,
Yeah. So my next thing is kind of staying in the hunting and fishing realm. And so what about an app for fishermen where they can share their catch if they have an abundance of fish that they caught with those in need? Right. So
those in need, okay.
Well, people that might need food, right? So,
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant just people who haven't caught a fish that day.
No. No, I mean, hungry people. You've gone out for that day and you caught your limit, right? Because there are limits, right? So
of course, the
local environmental management groups of your state.
Yeah.
If you have more than you need, what if you're just feeling good? You want to help out somebody in need.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an app where you can go on there and there's people accepting, or maybe there's a place locally. Hey, I'm going out fishing today.
Yeah.
I caught 6 flounder. And
I think the infrastructure...
I wouldn't mind giving 1 or 2 of them away.
The infrastructure part there will be the most important for food safety. That will be tricky. It's tricky because eggs even can sit out for a bit, but fish can't.
Right.
I mean, downtown, there is at least one community fridge. And that's where my brain first went. Like, where would these fishermen put this?
Yeah, right.
Because they would need to have
I was thinking maybe restaurants that get involved and want to...
Restaurants already do. Many already do. And that's actually a growing, just
because they have the walk-ins
movement like nationwide. In fact, it's not just a movement. It's really like on the books now.
Right.
Many laws are offering like tax incentives and things like that, which is good. But if Joe Fisherman has caught, more than they can use... Yeah. What is his option? It's on ice. It's in his cooler. Can he just show up? Does it need to be in a bag? Does it need to be packaged in some way? Like little considerations like that you would have to think about before they, for example, put it into a community freezer. I love the idea. Anything to do with like resharing out food is really good. It's a net positive for society, I think. This is, maybe it exists. I don't know. Here we go. Why isn't there a service offering audio clips from players during games?
Well, they kind of that's
Mr. Sport.
That's become a big thing now, right? So if you watch football, basketball, whatever, regularly during the broadcast they go, and here's what we're hearing from Jaylen Brown of the Celtics
While he's playing?
while he's playing.
So he's actually mic'd up.
Yes, they're mic'd up. So they mic up a few key players, quarterbacks in football, a couple, whatever, some big stars.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing in the NFL now. So like
NFL, yeah.
Yeah,
and basketball, okay.
they play that sound during the game. They play it, and then after on like some of the shows like inside the NFL and stuff, there's a whole segment where you get like 5 minutes of the guy throughout the game. Talking.
I think doing it after the fact is easier because also
then they edit it.
You can edit. That's the thing.
Yeah, because guys are also saying not so nice things.
Well,
but they know when
exactly.
they're mic'd up a little bit and they ham it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually part of the fun of it. And I could see that. I'm assuming for soccer, they would do the same. I don't know. How do they mic up these players? I mean, no, I guess
football,
it's
in
in
the
the
helmet. Football's easy.
So
Basketball, I don't know
I don't know how they're
them.
doing that. Yeah. One of the interesting ones that this one made me think of was the F1, but it's only once it's been edited for Netflix, the Netflix F1 series, which I
really?
love.
Oh, I haven't seen
It totally got me into F1.
Oh, okay.
I would never really watch F1. I enjoy cars. I've watched Top Gear and stuff, but suddenly now I'm like, I really look forward to the next season. It's like the people are interesting.
I'll have to check it out.
They're all overpaid, or maybe they're underpaid. I don't know. They have their in-helmet mics.
Yeah.
But they're constantly talking to them.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that anyone is hearing that
captain
during the race. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But I sort of wonder, like, what other sports would that be super immersive, where the other team can't cheat by getting useful intel?
Yeah. So I have a last one here, which is an app for kids that tracks and rewards practice in sports. So by giving them gaming achievements. So for example, if a kid is a basketball player and he goes out in his driveway and shoots 50 free throws, and it tracks that one way or another. Now we could do it either on the honor system, or maybe it's an app that you set up with AI that actually tracks the baskets and then logs that, and he can compete against his friends or people in the area or nationally, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But just something to incentivize and promote practice amongst athletes. And I could actually see that also being applied outside of sports to just other habits, right? Incentivizing people to practice playing the guitar. Anything that involves practice.
Right.
Exercise,
piano practice. I mean, really, piano practice.
Give me some type of reward.
But how would it be administered? Like, in what form does it take?
Well, I think it's an app that just an iPhone app that you can log into, go out, do your thing, and either watch it with the camera on the app, or you just log it as
that the student uses.
Yeah,
or
that the student uses, that the player uses.
Yeah.
Right. So you just. Maybe you're just logging it yourself and it's just a trust thing and you just do it for yourself.
Honor system, right?
Yeah, honor system.